2022 Bugatti Chiron in-depth review. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss about the new 2022 Bugatti Chiron in-depth from interior to exterior, and I'll remind you detail of every feature. So without any further ado, let's just dive into that. Overview. The 2022 Chiron isn't only the ultimate Bugatti, it's the ultimate car. Period. This $3 million work of art is capable of pummeling the pavement at over 200 mph thanks to a 16-cylinder engine that features 4 turbochargers and cranks out at least 1500 horsepower. The more expensive Super Sport model is even more powerful. The Chiron's cabin is just as artfully designed as its exterior, and it coddles occupants of fine materials that help justify its price tag. But let's be honest, people are really paying for the performance here. Those looking for modern conveniences, think Apple CarPlay or driver assistance tech, they won't find them here. But after driving this monster, they likely won't care about such minor drawbacks. After all, this is as much a goodbye as it is a hello. The Super Sport is a new twist on the Chiron formula that'll keep Bugatti craftspeople busy for years to come. But it's always the end of the line. With the company's controlling stake sold to electric supercar startup Rimac, the Super Sport is not only the last Chiron, but in all likelihood the last purely combustion-powered Bugatti road car. Following on the heels of record-breaking Super Sport 300 Plus and the brand redefining Per Sport, you may be tempted to think of the Super Sport as a bit of a letdown, but you're a bit wrong. Limited to only 273.4 mph, it's nowhere near as fast as 304 mph Super Sport 300 Plus, and absent the fixed wing, weight savings, and high grip tires of the Per Sport, it's not as corner focused. What it is, however, is a delicious blending of those two cars. What's new for 2022? Bugatti's Chiron hypercar hasn't changed for 2022. But the way the company lets people order one has. Through a new customization program called Sur Mesure, shoppers can spec their Chiron with a seemingly endless array of choices. Special paint, exterior trims, interior embellishments, racing stripes, logos, just name it, can be added on a whim. People who chose cars such as the Chiron do so because they want a vehicle that makes a jaw-dropping impact on the boulevard or the wallet stand or in front of the Monte Carlo casino. With its swooping lines and famously stratospheric price, the base Chiron certainly fits the bill. We think this model has what it takes to put a smile on the face of even the most discerning hypercar buyer. The Chiron comes standard with amenities such as the quad-LED headlights and full power accessories, engine, transmission, and performance. All Chiron models are motivated by an 8-liter 16-cylinder power plant. This beast of an engine employs 4 turbochargers to generate a mighty 1500 horsepower and 1180 pound-feet of torque. Bugatti claims that the Chiron makes the dash from 0 to 60 mph in a mere 2.3 seconds, and it has a top speed of 261 mph. If the Chiron standard engine doesn't quench your thirst for speed, step up to Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus. This model is equipped with a slightly more potent version of the base power plant, and it produces 1578 horsepower. Piloted by factory test driver Andy Wallace, a model with specs almost identical to those of Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus logged a record-setting 304.773 mph test track run. With every model in the Chiron lineup, power is sent to all 4 wheels by a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. Fuel economy and real-world MPG. As one would expect from a car with a 1500 HP engine, the Chiron won't win any points for being eco-friendly. According to the EPA, the Chiron achieves mileage, we hesitate to use the words fuel economy, of up to 9 mph city and 14 mph highway. The Per Sport and Super Sport model are rated for 8 mph city and 11 highway. Interior comfort and cargo. The Chiron's exterior features a C-shaped design cue carved into its side panels, and this element is present within the car's cabin. It's reflected in the graceful curve of a partition that separates driver and passengers. Bugatti has dressed the Chiron's cabin in top-of-the-line materials, and the interior bears space-age styling elements that add whimsical charm. A flat-bottom steering wheel greets the driver, and Bugatti claims the glossy center console is made from a single piece of solid aluminum. With the Chiron, it's best to pack light. The trunk provides just 2 cubic feet of cargo space. Infotainment and connectivity. The Chiron's singular focus on performance brings with it compromises on the infotainment front. This Bugatti functions much like a race car, and it has the stripped-down tech content to match. There's no infotainment screen, and features such as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability aren't offered. The car's infotainment amenities are pretty much limited to a sound system and a trip computer. On the plus side, the sound system delivers impeccable sound quality, and it features 4 tweeters that each utilize a 1-carat diamond membrane for precision output. That's what you'd expect from a car with a price that starts in millions. Drive fast, drive delicately. That's what's truly marvelous and unexpected about this car. It drives delicately. That's not a phrase you'd ever think to use around a car that carries such intimidating numbers, unless you are talking about the $222,500 paint or the even more expensive bodywork. But no, somehow this 1578 HP quad-turbocharged 16-cylinder, 273 mph car that hits 60 mph in less than 2.5 seconds is put in your hands. There's absolutely no need to wrestle with this car, no matter how fast you're going. It doesn't need to be forced, it needs to be caressed. Brush the throttle and brake pedals with the toe of your shoe, hold the wheel by your fingertips, and gently guide it through its arc. Flick the pedal shifters as you'd whisk a crumb from your table. Angry, ham-fisted inputs will only make you look like a fool. Counterintuitive as it sounds, the Chiron's massive power plant, wrapped in an even more massive car, shrinks around you as the road bends. As hard as it is to park, it's inversely easy to drive up a narrow canyon road. The steering is light and incredibly precise, completely unfazed by the absurd amount of engine power sent to the front wheels. The body remains flat through corners like a lighter, smaller supercar, but without the usual flinty ride. The precision of movement in every axis just isn't what you expect from something this large, this heavy, this powerful. FAQs. How much does an oil change on Bugatti cost? The cost of an oil change on a Bugatti runs between $20,000 to $25,000. This is because of the fact that it is extremely labor-intensive and time-consuming. It takes around 27 hours. For example, a Bugatti Veyron's dry sump lubrication system requires that 16 drain plugs be removed to drain all the oil. In order to get to the drain plugs, drain the oil, and refill with fresh oil, some underbody parts have to be removed, as well as the car's grille, rear deck, fender liners, and rear brakes. This has to be done at least once a year, regardless of the mileage traveled. How long can a Bugatti run at its top speed? In theory, a Bugatti Veyron will be able to maintain its top speed of 253 mph for no longer than 15 minutes, because that's the design limit of the tires at that speed. However, in practice, a Veyron would not exceed 12 minutes at maximum speed, because that's how long it takes to drain its entire 26.4-gallon fuel tank. It'll cover a distance of 50.6 miles in those 12 minutes. At the end of the run, the owner would have to replace all 4 tires at a cost of around $42,000. Who can buy a Bugatti? Theoretically, anybody with enough money, but Bugatti exercises a lot of control over the selection process. Bugatti knows that their customers are typically car collectors that already own more than 40 cars, several yachts, and at least 2 airplanes. The conversion the salesperson has with a potential customer is designed to identify real buyers. We're then invited to a Molsheim factory. Any person who gets invited has been screened as being legitimate and does not need to produce proof of finance. A factory tour follows, and a resident historian answers questions. Customers can go for a test drive in a Bugatti, touch actual Bugatti parts being manufactured, and talk to the engineers. Bugatti doesn't prescribe a set procedure, it builds a relationship with customers. Is it true that Bugatti will add diamonds to the speedometer upon request? Any Bugatti is infinitely customizable, and an automaker will place 1-carat diamonds in the speedometer if a client so wishes. This is in addition to the existing diamonds that are already used in the Bugatti but are hidden away. A Bugatti Chiron has an Acoudan audio system that uses a 1-carat diamond as a membrane of each of its 4 audio tweeters. Bugatti says that this provides optimal aural fidelity. To read more about Bugattis and for pictures, used cars, and upcoming future cars, have a look at our in-depth reviews and car comparisons. And this was all about the 2022 Bugatti Chiron. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to latest luxury cars channel. Do press the bell icon for more exciting videos like this.